So it's the early 600s, 610, 620, 630, 622 is the date that we should focus on. Now, all these area that's striped right here, this is the Byzantines, right? The Visigoths took some of Spain. This area we're still going to call Gaul, even though the Franks are warring over it. But to the east, there's these guys, the Sassanids, also known as the Persians, just like as the Byzantines were known as the Romans. Now, notice there's Hijaz and Kinda, and then far south you have the Axumite kingdom of Ethiopia, and a piece of Axum over there that it colonized. Now, Axum was a Christian kingdom. Now, we know the Byzantines were Christians, officially a Christian kingdom, and the Axumites were Christian, but there was another Christian kingdom, or possibly two, the Ghassanids. They were Monophysites, but they were an ally, a buffer zone for the Byzantines. Now, the Lachmi or the Lachmids were pagans until their king converted to Christianity, a form of Nestorianism, and the Sasanians executed him because he wouldn't give his daughters over to the emperor of the Persians as sex slaves, so they had elephants crush his head. And they disbanded the Lachmid army, and they put in a puppet ruler there. So they basically abolished the Lachmid kingdom. Now, it's not such a wise idea to have your auxiliary troops pissed off and without an army to fight, yet angered at the Persians, who were supposed to be their allies. Now, a 30-year war raged between the Byzantines and the Sasanians, or the Romans and the Persians, and then peace was declared. Their armies were annihilated, their armies were annihilated. Guess whose armies were intact? These two groups. And guess who they wanted to get vengeance on? Well, this has already fallen, and these were arch enemies, but maybe if they formed an alliance and they got some of their southern brethren to help, they could take the riches of Alexandria, take Jerusalem, and wipe out the Sassanid Empire for good. And when they realized that not that much of a fuss was being put up, that hell, there was nobody in their way, whoop, took over, boom. And they were only stopped at the Battle of Tours up here. They raced across North Africa. And it wasn't until they got to Nicaea and almost to the gates of Constantinople that the first crusade was called. So if you want to know where Islam came from, it didn't come from here. It came down because of a peace treaty that was signed, and because of the brutality that the Sassanids had over the Lachmids. Oh yeah, and the trading routes went through here. This is where the trading routes were, right? That's where the place that the Quran takes place at. Because remember, it never says Mecca. Why would it be all the way down here, 50 miles inland, no, the Mecca of the Quran, and also the Medina, which aren't two cities, they're the same place, is here. Maybe a little bit south, maybe here. So yeah, that's what the world looked like right before Islam took over. And the only kingdom to hold out was Abyssinia, was the Axumites. Ethiopia never fell to the Muslims until the communists came in, and Haile Selassie, Rastafari, was the last king, the last Christian, Orthodox Christian king. So yeah, that's what the world looked like at 1 minute to midnight, basically. All right, peace to you.